Welcome back to the channel. Today's story comes from the deep waters off the Pacific coast where a routine research mission uncovered something that would change lives forever. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Trust me, you won't want to miss stories like this one. It started with seismic readings that didn't make sense. Coast Guard monitoring stations detected massive underwater disturbances 20 miles offshore. The kind of impact you'd expect from something extremely heavy hitting the ocean floor. Dr. Isabella Izzy Martinez, a marine archaeologist with 15 years of deep-sea experience, was leading the research vessel Deep Current when the call came in. "We need you to investigate anomalous sonar readings," the Coast Guard dispatcher explained. "Something big went down out there and we need to know what." When Izzy's team reached the coordinates, their sonar immediately picked up the object. 40 feet below the surface lay what appeared to be a standard shipping container. But something was off. Shipping containers don't usually sink in perfect condition, and they certainly don't cause seismic disturbances when they hit bottom. Izzy suited up for the preliminary dive. As an experienced deep-sea researcher, she'd seen plenty of maritime debris, but this felt different. When she reached the container, her trained eye immediately noticed the modifications. Reinforced seals, specialized locks, and what appeared to be ventilation systems. "This isn't just debris," she radioed to her team. "Someone modified this container extensively. We need to bring it up." The Deep Current was equipped with a hydraulic crane system capable of lifting 3 tons, more than enough for a standard empty container. But as the crane began its work, the ship's engines strained against an unexpected weight. The vessel rocked violently as they slowly hauled their mysterious cargo to the surface. "Whatever's inside weighs close to our maximum capacity," Izzy called out as the container finally broke the surface. But here's what caught her attention. No water poured from the usual drainage holes. This container had been completely sealed. Marine salvage protocol required careful documentation before opening any recovered container. Izzy's team photographed every seal, every modification, every detail. The specialized locks weren't standard shipping hardware, they were high-security mechanisms designed to keep something in or someone out. "Everyone stay back until we know what we're dealing with," Izzy instructed as her crew prepared the bolt cutters. With a sharp crack, the locks gave way. Amazed. What they found inside defied every expectation. The container had been converted into a living space, a bed bolted to one wall, a small table secured to the floor, personal belongings carefully stored in waterproof containers. Someone hadn't just lived in this container. They'd been prepared for it to go underwater. As the team documented everything, marine biologist Dr. Sarah Chen noticed something tucked behind the makeshift bed. "Izzy, you need to see this." In her hands was a waterproof case containing what appeared to be a digital recorder. With steady hands, Izzy activated the device. At first, only static filled the air. Then a voice emerged, clear, desperate, and speaking in accented English. "My name is Ahmed Osman. If you are hearing this, then my container has been found. I don't know if I'll survive to explain in person, so I'm recording everything. They promised us safe passage to America, jobs, housing, a new life. Instead, they locked us in containers aboard the cargo ship Voyager. We're prisoners here, dozens of families, trapped for months. Yesterday, I tried to organize an escape. As punishment, they threw my container overboard. I had minutes to seal this message before the water came in. If someone finds this, please find the ship. Please save the others." The recording lasted 12 minutes and painted a horrifying picture of modern slavery on the high seas. Izzy immediately accessed maritime tracking databases. The Voyager appeared in shipping records, but its behavior was suspicious. Frequent stops for fuel, but minimal cargo transfers, despite being loaded with containers. "They're not running cargo," Izzy told her team. "They're running people." The ship's last known position was only 30 miles away. If Ahmed's recording was recent, there might still be people aboard who needed help. This was no longer a research mission. It was a rescue operation. Maritime law enforcement requires careful coordination. Izzy contacted the Coast Guard, who immediately dispatched a cutter with specialized boarding teams. But they faced a problem. If the ship's crew suspected law enforcement involvement, they might dispose of evidence, or worse. The solution was deception. Coast Guard officers would pose as additional researchers, approaching under the cover of a routine oceanographic survey. As they approached the Voyager, Izzy felt the weight of responsibility. Lives hung in the balance. The cargo ship floated eerily still in the calm waters. When they radioed for permission to board, there was a long delay before the captain responded. His voice carried obvious reluctance.
1 hour, the captain granted. We have schedules to maintain. As Izzy and 2 disguised Coast Guard officers climbed aboard, they noticed the crew's nervous behavior. Too many men watching, too few working. Moving through the ship, Izzy began softly calling Ahmed's name. A container door cracked open, and a hand pulled them inside. Inside the container, they found 15 people. Men, women, and children living in conditions that defied human dignity. The man who'd pulled them inside matched the voice from the recording perfectly. Ahmed Osman, he introduced himself with tears in his eyes. I never thought anyone would find my message. What Ahmed revealed was a systematic operation of human trafficking. The ship collected desperate migrants from various ports, promising transportation to better lives. Instead, they were imprisoned in modified containers, forced to work without pay, and threatened with death if they resisted. I've been on this ship for 8 months, Ahmed explained. Others have been here for years. They threw my container overboard to make an example. They never expected it to survive. The Coast Guard officers immediately signaled their backup. Within minutes, the Voyager was surrounded by law enforcement vessels. The ship's crew, caught completely off guard, surrendered without resistance. Container after container revealed the true scope of the operation. Over 60 people from 12 different countries, all trapped in a floating prison. Medical teams worked through the night, providing care to survivors who hadn't seen proper sunlight in months. The ship's captain and crew faced federal charges, including human trafficking, kidnapping, and maritime crimes. Ahmed and the other survivors were taken to a specialized facility where they received medical care, legal assistance, and help contacting their families. 6 months later, Izzy received a letter from Ahmed. He'd successfully applied for asylum and was working with authorities to shut down the trafficking network. Your decision to investigate that container saved 63 lives, he wrote. We can never repay that debt. This case highlighted how modern slavery operates in plain sight, hidden aboard ships in international waters. It also showed how crucial it is to investigate the unusual, to question what doesn't seem right. The Voyager case led to international cooperation agreements and stronger maritime patrol protocols. But experts estimate hundreds of similar operations continue worldwide, exploiting desperate people seeking better lives.
Sometimes the most extraordinary discoveries come from the most ordinary decisions, like choosing to investigate something that doesn't quite fit the pattern. Ahmed's message in a bottle became a lifeline for dozens of people who'd lost all hope. That's today's story. If it impacted you, please share it. Awareness is our best weapon against human trafficking. Don't forget to subscribe for more incredible true stories, and I'll see you in the next video.